Welcome to the Survivor to Thriver show with your happiness expert, Samia Bano. Are you a survivor of abuse or other trauma? Are you tired of feeling stuck, silent, and stressed all the time? This is the podcast people from all over the world join in to learn exactly how to stop suffering and start living with more inner peace and joy. Are you ready to eliminate suffering from your life and transform from a survivor to thriver? Then congratulations, you are in the right place. Let's get started. Hey, welcome back to the Survivor to Thriver show. So happy to have you with me. Last time I left off sharing with you one of the specific teachings that I came across in my study of the Quran that really inspired me and helped me to see what I needed to do in order to help myself achieve the inner peace that I was so desperate for. And we already talked about, why I was inspired to delve deeper into the study of religion and spirituality in the first place. So I won't get into that again. Today I really want to focus on sharing with you another teaching that I came across in my study of the Quran really early on in the process that really had a huge impact on me moving forward. And it's actually one of my most favorite things, favorite ideas, favorite concepts to share when I'm talking to people and working with people and find them in a place where they're really struggling with the challenges in their life. So let me jump straight into it, and then we'll talk about its impact and everything else. So this teaching is also from chapter 2 of the Quran. It's actually the very last verse number 286. And I'm actually only going to talk about the first part of this verse, because we just won't have time to go over the rest of it. So the very first sentence, the very first part of this verse says, "And on no soul does God place a burden greater than it can bear." On no soul does God place a burden greater than it can bear. On no soul does God place a burden greater than it can bear. Whew. And I can tell you, when I read this, it just hit me. It was like this huge roll of emotions that was just like, oh my gosh, life-changing, like a truly life-changing experience. Because I think the most dominant feeling that I experienced in that moment was relief. Just that comes from knowing that I will never be burdened with more than I can bear. And you know what that means? That means that even what I'm having to deal with right now, I can get through it. I can deal with it. I have the power. I have that capacity. And no matter what happens in the future, I have the power and the capacity to deal with it. Oh my God, what a relief. And that sense of hope, again, that, comes alive. That is so critical to help us keep moving forward. And then on the other side of this relief and this hope is the confidence, is a sense of confidence and empowerment that took seed within me. And it was like, oh my gosh, like I will never be burdened with more than I can bear. Wow. This means no matter what happens, I can deal with it. I can overcome it. And this is the knowing that grounds that sense of confidence. I'm not just, like making it up, to make myself feel better, or, not just going on hearsay. This is like a knowing that's grounded in my faith, right? And so it has a really strong root, as strong as my faith is, and as my faith has continued to grow and become stronger, so has this knowing, so has this deep inner confidence, right? And it's just awesome. Well, you know what? Before I get carried away in how awesome it feels for me, I want to make sure I translate this in a language and talk to you about it in a way that even if you are someone who does not identify as a Muslim, or who does not believe in the concept of God as I do, that you can still relate to this teaching, that you can still benefit from this idea. Because look, here's the thing, that everything that I share with you, I promise, it has universal applications, okay? And these teachings are speaking to basic human psychology. These teachings are a response to the universal human needs that we all have. Okay, so they are definitely relevant to all of us, and it's just a matter of, can we connect the dots, to see how this is relevant for you, how it's relevant for me. Okay, so I'm going to help you connect the dots. I won't just leave you hanging here. And if at the end of the podcast you still find yourself struggling to connect the dots, struggling to see how this applies to you and how you can use it in your life, please connect with me. You know how to do that. Go to my website at www.academyofthriving.com and just go on our contact us page, and you will see there are multiple options for how we can connect. So please don't hesitate to take me up on this offer. I am committed to being present for you and doing whatever I can to help you and support you on your journey to inner peace and joy, your transformation from survivor to thriver, because that is the purpose of my life now, So, all right. So how can you apply and understand this in your life if you don't believe in God? Well, if you don't believe in God, then ground your confidence and your knowing that all will be well, that you can deal with anything that comes your way in your own abilities and in the experience of your own past strength. Okay? Now, you may need to switch your perspective on what happened in the past to see that you did in fact react to it with strength and courage and even wisdom. Because whatever happened, you survived and you didn't give up. And even right now, you're working and wanting to do better. And you're not giving up. Right? That is strength. And you know what? You came to a realization that this was something where you needed more help and support. And as opposed to trying to figure it all out on your own and struggling on your own, you're doing what you can with what you have to reach out, get more support, learn the things that you need to learn, just like I did when I was, that 14-year-old child. Even though I didn't speak out and tell people about the abuse that I had survived, I was nonetheless taking action to help myself, right? And so are you. You're listening to this podcast. That's proof of what I'm saying, right? You are working to reach out, learn more, get help and support, find community so that you won't have to be alone. All of these things are important and show that you have the strength and the wisdom to know how to move forward. So even if your mind is confused about what to do and how to do it, in your heart, in your soul, in your gut, you know what is needed. And it is this inner knowing that allows you to keep moving forward and grounds your hope. So trust that inner knowing and keep moving through your fear, keep moving through your doubts. Keep moving despite your fear and your doubts. And as you do that, you are going to soon reach the zone of safety and peace and life-giving joy and happiness. You are a strong person. You are capable of overcoming any difficulty that comes in your way. So believe in yourself. Love yourself. Care for yourself. Practice being there for you. When you do that, you will realize that you are never alone. You are your own best friend. And you will find the peace and the joy that you desire and experience a life transformed. I want you to take some time when you're done listening to this podcast to just connect with your heart. Take a moment to breathe. Take a few deep breaths. Quiet your mind. And connect with your heart and your soul. And just experience the truth of this knowing. Connect with your own inner strength and courage and wisdom. Just experience it and the knowing that emerges from it. So that you don't have to just take my word. Experience it for yourself. If you find yourself struggling to connect with that inner knowing, to connect with your inner source of peace and joy and strength and courage and wisdom, then I want to invite you once more to connect with me, reach out to me and let me help you to make that connection with yourself. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and wrap up today's episode right here with that thought. And until we connect tomorrow, I wish you lots of peace and joy.